Hello, Fetu, Nakal Inaki, Tatsi, Spiderman Samotona, Stokulsa, Remahumule, Opela Matako, Patimal Masipayo, Rola Haila Re, Moses Kotan, Kotamput start.
I didn't know we should have an introduction. That's about
AKA Mr. Miyaki in the kitchen.
Oh.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I don't come so like roll with my amigo, my bro,
Yeah.
my one me, my brother.
Short introduction. Yeah, no, it's just Wushi, Bobo.
Dogmatic.
Yeah, once upon a time. Dogmatic. Once upon a time, drama.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. Hey man, the Peter man.
Yeah.
Too many things.
Yeah.
But for now, future healthcare worker.
Sure.
Say Wushi.
Sure.
Yes. Say
Yes.
Wushi.
Says Bush. Yes. Padanes.
One day, we are coming to calm down.
Ayan. That's dope.
Sure, man.
It's been a long time coming, eh? It's
Yeah,
not really a long time coming, just fella. The last time we did it, then things
Didn't work out.
Didn't work
And
out.
then we are back again.
Yeah.
Second time around. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk to me and
Let's hope.
yeah, talk to me.
Let's hope this time but umbana lo gona
Yeah,
sound
man.
ka se corrupt eh.
Well,
Kevin,
mic down with a check so
everything can but yeah.
No. Everything is okay, Rishapo.
Mhm.
We're doing this. We're gonna have a nice conversation, I believe. Yeah. Even if it may not sound like the first time we had it, but yeah, we're having it either way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So
Tango.
our things in fit into the version na family. No, see
Yeah, well.
Spanish gela.
Everything is okay. You know, family, grand, we're in a good space. Marriage is treating me nice. Balance my, I can put my hands there and they can rest without falling down.
Yeah.
So marriage is nice. The child is in school, grade 1, grand, he's doing well. Man. The wife is okay. She's doing well. I'm here. I'm okay. I'm doing well. Career change. I'm doing well. The book at young guy, but I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm good, my man. I'm good.
Okay.
Can't complain about
So-
life.
Career change. Before it got marriage, but before marriage, career change.
Alright. Career change.
Yeah, so what happened? Like, what's one day to change the career? Okay, the process, it landed that decision.
Well,
Because I just talk sack, but I don't know when
I did. So for me, right, it's a matter of because I studied media, right? Did PR, media, things were not looking so. Initially, I never did that because I wanted to be famous and be in the entertainment industry. I just wanted some skills that I can apply in other fields as well. Right? So that was why I did PR in the first place.
Okay.
Take a skill, have a skill that you can run with and go anywhere you want to go with it. Right? So job-wise, things were not going well. Then COVID came, got a chance nyana to work at a hospital, low-level entry nyana, position nyana. Then it came, you know what? Actually, we can make a career out of
There's something.
we can shift from wherever we were thinking into the healthcare sector, right?
Okay.
So you take whatever skills that you've been acquiring, your experiences, all those things, you take them and you apply them in this specific industry, right? So healthcare, from a health screener to working with colleagues, as a cashier, doing a bit of archiving, go HR, go hospital, and you try different things just to try and climb the ladder. The idea is you work at a position at the door where you just that nobody, that people don't pay attention to, and then while you're there, you find ways to get inside and climb until you get to where you want to get. Then fortunately somebody posted some advert. We want some nursing students. How they GCon, they want the nursing students, and then I applied. Like let's try to go there.
Okay.
Because it's a nice industry. It's a nice profession. I believe there's growth if you're willing to study and work hard for it. There's growth career-wise. There's a lot of growth. You can climb and climb and climb. The sky is the limit. Depends on you as the person. So I decided shift from media, specifically everything else there, and then go into healthcare. Now I'm studying nursing. I'm studying nursing, diploma in nursing, and with that, there are other options. You can pursue a specialty in nursing, or you can use it as a stepping stone to medicine, which is one of the options that are coming up now. I don't know. Okay. Think about it.
I work leave media and do something else. I feel like somehow now similar stories. Right? And somehow I would so that I theory. Like when I realize now I've always followed in footsteps. Conscious and unconscious.
When maybe we want it, so we go not silently.
No, that's the thing. I feel like I like before, but I'm like, nah. It's most of you like, but now I could do one, and it's like, but because they conversation like, but like, because now we work about the siblings, because I know sibling, so we regard as the cousins are as siblings. Brothers and sisters and everything. So I can put to getting you as a sibling, as an older brother, when influences the more or kinky more, and then we can apply in my own way and try to get everything.
I rapped. I wanted to be a rapper.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to go into music. You've gone there as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've gone into the media space. You were there as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a big foodie. I'm a foodie person. I'm big into food.
Yeah.
At some point, I was considering studying something in culinary. Now you are doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is where we deviate.
So
I go to healthcare.
I went
now
to
you are going somewhere.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I won't follow that direction
But
anymore.
similarities
are there.
The paths have always ran parallel somewhere.
Only now I'm that's split.
Yeah.
That's dope, Joe. That's dope. I like that. That's crazy to watch and to witness, and especially now because now we're talking about TB, so they can actually tell, okay, now, I see how you move. You move like this because that your older brother moves.
Yeah, I mean,
similar way.
It's sometimes, right? As people who are believers, we always see things in a way. The promises that could be made to your parent, or to you, but they get fulfilled by people who are related to you, right? Because at the end of the day, we are members of the same boat.
Yeah.
So our parents wanted to go to university and college. They never had a chance to do that.
Yeah.
My father wanted to be a lawyer. Our mother, she studied. She had a chance.
Design.
Besides that, she had a chance to also study home-based care and some things in the medical sector, right? And she also did home-based care. She dabbled in cooking and all of those things. So you see the word and inspiration that came to them, and whatever promises that were made to them by a higher power, they get fulfilled by the next generation. Because we had a chance to go to varsity. I'm doing it. I'm doing college for the second time now. Yeah. Right. She had a love of cooking. You are going into that space professionally wise, right? Yeah. She studied home-based care, how to take care of patients, whatever. I'm pursuing a career in nursing, right? Yeah. So these things get fulfilled in other people, right? Our uncle, now music, you had uncles, but never about music, things like that.
My horse,
right? And we wanted to go into that space as well. So some things we see them as seeds that have been planted in our lives, and that seed it planted in the generation before you.
Yeah.
And then when that seed is now sprouting. It's like, no, I'm this particular seed.
Yeah.
And then how the more you grow up and you find in yourself, no, this thing you thought it was this, it's this. Now it's integrating some of the things, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, until it can say, oh no, this is what the tree is. Tango.
It's crazy, Joe. Like crazy to a point that like the way we are thing, like yeah. To right go media because of whatever reasons, expectations, no jobs and whatever. You feel like you're done. You feel it.
Yeah.
Same thing to me. I felt the reason why like I always told people like I'm a retired photographer. I'm a retired filmmaker.
Yeah, at a very young age.
At a very young age,
yeah.
But I retired. Then there's also a follow-up question: why? So I came to realize, I've reached my benchmark. I've like my head is against the ceiling anymore. Like I feel like I can't go beyond. It's either I go beyond or I drop. So, but now the thing is that, and it started to become health consuming to me. First anxious, I become anxious, anxiety, especially like kids, we shoot and everything. So I was like, nah, this thing it's like coward, you know, it's like coward. And that's when the cooking came along, the culinary, the capsicum opportunity came along. Let's try that for a while and let's pack this one.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's a matter of adapt or perish.
Yeah.
Either you adapt or you perish.
Yeah.
And when you adapt, now you have to think about it. What can I do? Right? And you have to invent yourself and you reinvent yourself. Right?
Yeah.
Because now
evolve as a person.
You need to evolve as a person, right? Because you might find when you were learning certain things or you're working in a certain field, it was just for a season, right?
Yeah.
And then in that season, you were meant to learn something, develop some certain character, develop some certain ethics. Who is something that grows in you, and then the season passes, and then you move on to the next season.
Yeah.
And then in the next season, you won't succeed in this season if you don't apply what you learned from the previous season.
One. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I see it even with me. No, I'm going into the space here nursing. But as much as I'm going into that space, there are things that as a nursing student, there are things that I'm able to do or handle better and cope with because of how I apply my experience from the previous other jobs that I had. Right? Yeah. So work ethic comes in, maturity comes in. What did you learn from your work that you are able to apply in this new journey that you are in, right?
Yeah.
What did you learn? Patience? Did you learn perseverance? Did you learn long suffering? What did you learn from that side that you can take forward? And I see, yes, I'm leaving the PR space. I'm leaving the journalism space. I'm leaving all of those things. But the writing skills, the communication skills, presentation, customer service, like how to talk to people, how to handle patients and all. So if I can take all those things from that media space and apply them here, I believe I would be a better nurse because I would be applying skills that the nursing course itself won't give me.
Yeah.
But I come with these skills already from wherever I come from.
Life experiences. It counts, and it plays a role to a certain point. Some of the people will think, this is something that you always wanted to do.
You just fell into this
thing. Yeah, because of your experiences and how you carry yourself through this journey. It only makes sense.
You see, we can even talk about we grew up cooking. Our mother was cooking. because we are sons only in the house.
Yeah.
We ended up having to cook.
Yeah,
we have to learn to cook.
Yeah.
We watch cooking shows, get interested, curiosity. You learn how to apply what you see on TV, right?
Yeah.
Now here you are. You're going into the culinary space. Then it means you have to take all these things from your work. You're watching your mother bake, and then you baking under her instruction, right?
Yeah.
Now you have to stand by yourself and bake and produce a professionally looking product.
Yeah.
Now you take what she gave you, what you learned along the way, and then you master what you are doing right now.
Yeah.
It's integration application of whatever that you've been carrying all this time.
Plus, like I always tell people, I'm a firm believer of change. First and foremost, I'm a firm believer. You or me as a person, I can't be doing one thing my whole life.
Yeah.
Kids, man, you can carry. Things
get boring. It becomes a routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, but because I remember I had this conversation with this other bro about Mara, you can't live into it for so many years, and what was into out of nowhere. No, it's not out of nowhere. Dude, I'm a person. I have hobbies. I have dreams. I have passion. I have dreams and passion outside of filming.
Yeah.
Photography.
Mm-hmm.
If I can write things that I want to do, my dreams, you'll be surprised. They have nothing to do with photography. They have nothing to do with filming.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Wines, alcohol production, equally one. You know, baking, cooking, bakery shop. Nearly one. But now, because of culinary and everything, it's starting to become closer. And I'll I'm like, said.
Okay.
But as people, here's the thing, as people, I get to believe more, I get to out to believe more. I get to be but I don't think as people we are here to do one thing and one thing only.
Well, okay. Let's go back to this, right? Okay. As believers.
Okay.
So we read the Bible and we read God creates the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
And then he creates the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
And after creating the Garden of Eden, he looks at it and he says, there's no man or there's no person to dress and work the garden. Right? To work the garden. I mean gardening. Adam was created for gardening, working in the Garden of Eden. What was his job description? Right? What did he have to do? Right? You can till the land, you can plant. When there are trees, you fell the trees, you trim the trees, make them look very nice. You pluck out the weeds. There are animals in here. He was naming animals. Yeah. He was looking at it and saying, when you are a lion, and the lion became a lion, and lion behaved like a lion. Right? So there were multiple things that he had to do in the garden. Right? So remember the first time we had this conversation, I said we were created to work. Not to work a specific thing, but to work. As to what, it will depend on how God gives you according to his grace. Right? He will give you maybe one talent, or another person he will give them 2 talents. Another person he will give them 3 talents. Right? So it's according to his grace and how he wants to give you. And the amount he gave you, you will work with that. And now here's the thing. He gives you 1 coin. He's expecting this 1 coin to multiply. It's an investment. It's a 1 talent. While you work in this 1 talent of yours, which was a grass cutting, you are multiplying it and multiplying and multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. At the end of the day, you end up with 10 coins, 10 talents, right? And then every multiplier. Now I become multi-talented and multi-skilled. What dictates I need to stick to one skill and one discipline? Yes, I'm not a master of everything, but I can be a jack of all trades, right?
You see, I think that's another thing. When you're coward as people, we fall under these social experiments. Yeah, when master of what jack of all trades, master of none. What master of fail and tools.
Fair. You are a master. You are an expert in your field. Sure, fine. Fine. Do you, boo. Do you. That's okay. But I want to be a jack of all trades, right? If you want me to cut grass, I will cut grass.
Yeah.
If you want to make me to bake, I will bake. If you want me to brew alcohol, I will brew alcohol.
Yeah.
If you want me to do this, I will do that.
Yeah.
Right? If God wanted Adam to just deal with the animals, he could have been specific.
Your responsibility, your duty,
right?
To
so he didn't limit him to how he can grow and what he can learn and become. Right? We are not limited.
Yeah. We
are not restricted. So if you are able, baby, work as wherever your hand can reach, work, as far as your hand can reach. So if you are working and whatever talent you are given and skill you are given gets to multiply and multiply and multiply, let it multiply and embrace that and work it and work it and work it. When your Lord comes, your Lord, when he comes and asks you, when saying, you can point and say, Lord, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You gave me one thing, but I with this one thing, I multiplied it and this is what I did with it. So that's where I am. I'm trying to get there. Even with nursing, I'm looking at my options. So where can I go in this? And how many things can I learn? There are different wards, different sectors there, different disciplines in nursing itself, different things I can learn. I can go there, branch, specialize in something and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Or I can deviate and go into medicine and specialize and become something and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. At the end of the day, you ask me, you started 2022, you were a student nurse, 10 years later, what are you? I must be something worthwhile in 10 years' time. Yeah, I must put in the sweat and say, from one seed, this is what I have. Tango.
Oh, that's dope, bro. God damn it. God damn it. That's crazy, Joe. Yeah, so now let's talk about the marriage part.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the marriage part. Because now, like, that thing is crazy. To a point where, for you it was expected.
Yeah.
Right? For you it was expected.
He says that.
He says that. Yeah. Because of whatever reasons.
I'm older.
You're older. You know, you've been with the same person for so many years and everything. But when it comes to me, it's controversial to everyone.
Yes.
Everyone. Even everyone like, are you married? Yes. How old are you? 24. But why?
Why?
Why so soon?
Okay. No. And it doesn't have to be like that, right? It doesn't have to.
That's what I said.
So, I was working there at Netcare last year. So I was a health screen like a plumber. People who come in during COVID times in lockdown. You come in, I ask you those questions. Have you experienced any COVID-related symptoms? Which department are you going to? All of those nice things, right?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. So when you sitting there and you're working and you are focused, you are alert, and you are analyzing what's going on. You are not just present because you need to be, but you are really present. You can analyze in a day how many people came in roughly. Out of that, what is the different profiles of the people who came in, right? And I can tell you this. So that was the first time I was in a space whereby I could see a lot of young people, even younger than I am, even younger than you, who are married and they are raising families, right? So it's a cultural thing somewhere, right? Yeah. It's a cultural thing. It's a race thing. It's a race thing somewhere. Yeah. So with a pinch of salt, people take it with a pinch of salt. Let's be controversial.
Salt B.
Pinch of salt. Let's be controversial and be realistic, right? So I'll tell you. So this is my lived experience. You can differ with me, but this is my experience, right?
Cool.
There were a lot of young white people who were married and they are raising families.
Yeah.
And white, not just white, but either they are Muslim or they are Jew, right? Or Greek. Very specific cultures, very specific nations, right? And they are committed. You see this couple, they will be, the gentleman will be 20, 21, 22. The young lady maybe will be 2 years younger than the gentleman, and they have a little baby there, and and you look at them and like, this is very nice. This is very nice. This is adorable.
Yeah.
And they are very young. I'm like, Mina, I'm 30. And this, like, so much difference gap between us, ne? And hey, they're very nice. Yes. The marriage may not last.
Yeah.
It will have challenges. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But
like
they are committed.
Like any other marriage.
But they are committed to building.
Yeah.
And to having a proper foundation for them and their children and future generations, right? And you look at it, people their age, they're not thinking about marriage. But in the period of time.
Besides the
enjoy before I start settling down. And by the time solely in your 30s and you start thinking about getting serious with a girl, you've caused so much damage. Right? You've left so many hearts broken, the baby mamas and all those things, and now you are in the 30s. So what will settle down only some girl, and now some girl not a baggage high, not a baggage. It's very complicated. In your 40s, you're thinking of getting married. And while you're still enjoying your marriage, things get rough and you are split, and now after that marriage fails, you are not able to get into another marriage because you started off late. Right? So I looked at myself, at 30, it's the right time. We've been together for 9 years. Our child is grown. Why not? And you look at these people, they are doing it, and some of them, but talk up and I know, and they got married a year later. We've been together for a long time. Why not? Let's do this, right? So Biggie Smalls wanna faith events and fall in love with faith events, and after a couple of weeks they get married. So why not, Kagiso, after you see your girl and you all got entanglement, after a couple of months, you all got married? Why not? Right? God saw Adam and said, it's not good for man to be alone. And he put Adam into a deep sleep, took a rib out of Adam, fashioned Eve out of it, brought Eve and put Eve there. Adam woke up, saw Eve and said, this is a woman. And that was it. They were together forever and ever and ever. We don't know how long it took, the process of creating the woman. But after creating the woman was brought. Adam saw the woman, recognized the woman, and saw, you are a flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. I will call you a woman because you were taken from a man. Immediately in that contact, he decided, this is me. This is part of me. And they forever. So why not see a woman today, look at her, recognize her as a flesh of your flesh, the bone of your bone, and feel her in you. Feel her. Like, mind, body, and soul, feel, and something is missing without her. And if I had her, I'm complete. And you attach yourself to her, you commit yourself to her, and you are loyal to her, and you get married. You yada huma first who assign a lanyala. Why not? When I would cultures are not complicated, but they don't need to have to be. If they were not complicated, a lot of us would have been married a long time ago. A lot of people who are not married now, they could be married. We could wake up tomorrow, put hands upon people and say, we bless you, you are married. Tango.
So before the hospital part, or you see couples, young couples and everything, and obviously subconsciously you are registered, then you start to think, okay, let me do the right thing. So before then, was it something has it always been in the back of your mind? Or is that that danger, that time, that moment?
No, this thing, like I said, it's a cultural thing, right? So I believe the people I was seeing, they were raised in families and in cultures where marriage is a foundation. It's a pillar in that society, in that community, right?
Yeah.
Same as where I'm from and in the family I'm born into. Marriage is one of the things that we take serious, and it's one of the pillars of how we construct and build this society we live in, right? Because we don't want to have you running around different women and different babies. These different babies, and they have different surnames, but you claim to be the father of all those people, right?
Yeah.
So marriage has always been a thing that is put there to say, to show yourself as being a man who is contributing positively to society. And because the moment you produce children, you are contributing to society. Because last year, 5 days ago or yesterday, there were 10 of us in this country. Now, because you produced a baby, there's 11 of us. You are a productive member of society. You are product to produce it. So marriage, when you start thinking, no, we need to be worthwhile members of society who are contributing, and then who are contributing to their growth, not only in numbers but in terms of unity of this community. You need to think about marriage. Let me have this like my fathers did. Let me also do what they did, right? Have a woman. We under this umbrella of this surname of ours, we have these little people that we call our children, and they will do the same thing when they grow up, and their children will do the same thing. It's always been there. But as to when to do it, it has always been a controversial thing in our community. Maybe you don't get married too early, you don't get married too late. There's but what is the right age? And no one tells you what is the right age to get married, right? No one is saying to you in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 20s. They just say not too early, not too late. Other people will say nyalo nyele. So it's like they discount and discredit marriage altogether. Some people is like, no, it's an individual thing. Doesn't mean your marriage will be difficult. So you are never sure what to do until you find something that pushes you in the right direction. But it's always been there. And I will tell my Jitogaphy to take it to heart. Think about it. Think about it. Don't be that person by 12, by 20, got 5 different mothers, 100 surnames, and then tomorrow you want to say when you have children. But these children, you were not there for these children. They were not here with you, these children, but you are a father to these children. You fathered them, but you are not a father, to them. But yes, you fathered them. You gave some sperm, some semen. You contributed in their being, but you didn't raise and you didn't bring them up. And that's important. And it's important to do it without the text of my father, and said to do it in the right way, in the right atmosphere, in the right environment, right setting.
Plus, he who finds a wife finds
favor.
Favor. From who? From the good Lord. From the good Lord.
Favor. Oh, Sheba, with a favorable eye. See, Hashem. Young man, Gabari. And I lay mouths to feed. It's like if a barim says.
And I get to if most South Africa it's a thing now, because somewhere in the States, there's a marriage, like maybe a marriage salary, something like that. So now if, for example, Mercedes Benz and I'm married, that means my salary has to be marriage look about.
That's nice, because we have mouths to feed.
Exactly.
We have
mouths to feed. And it also goes with mouth. Sorry, okay. Let's say it's you, it's me, and my wife and my 2 kids. So in that marriage salary package, Tatsi it will include the 2 mouths, which is the 2 offsprings.
Mouths to feed.
Exactly.
Yes.
But because of married, it's a fixed one. If Kibalwana,
another mouth to feed.
Another. Like, this is I wish the more South Africa.
There's things to think about, right? I mean, these are things to think about. These are very nice things to think about. Even about Kamafent needs to think about things like this.
It should.
How do we encourage our society to take these things serious and pursue them, right? Because if you are a government and you are trying to fix broken families, incentivize this thing in a way, for a lack of a better word, incentivize it for us, right? Take away the barriers and the things that will discourage us not to get into that space. So maybe the marriage salary are things to think about, or no, when a person is married, they have children, they have a wife, and they are struggling. How can we subsidize somewhere their things? Hence why now I should be able to get a house. Subsidies government and get a house, right? Because I need to establish a shelter and a legacy for these people that I'm with. Right? Then lover la da ka sida who has hana ncha hana ka tse hana le tweba mshebile mahlong e mmotso re jang ka jeo. I love out la panda fit. Love out la hloma mkhukhu.
It's a plan. It's a plan.
Yeah, I don't discriminate about it, but we're just saying some things are worth thinking about.
Yeah, true.
So that these guys can stop playing around. Okay, maybe if I get married, I have children, I have this, there are benefits as well that I can derive from this. Yes. Let's think about it.
So what got task the government, the private institution, companies, and everyone. You should try to restructure that in your fit into your mandate as a company or as a government.
Yeah, I can call 15,000 and a couple of grants on top because I've got mouths to feed.
Exactly. It's kind of like a commission.
I'm
sales and everything.
I'm a different class. I'm a species on my own.
So what are the things during you wish you learned before Unyala?
Things that I wish I learned.
Yeah, let's say 3 things that you wish you learned before Unyala. During you help people who are from outside. So now because of you are now inside the marriage club, like hey, but then I'm so.
Let's see, number one,
3 things.
Number one, I've learned
okay, by the way, it's raining outside, so don't mind Mahadima and a funny sound.
So number one, I've learned recently I need to speak more softly and gentler than I've been speaking to my people. You know, so one of my colleagues is like, yo man, but I've never heard you so much for your colleagues and whatnot. So I've learned that I need to speak gently. So you learn how to speak to each other, as people. And you learn how does the other person react and how when you need to also respond to them, right? So we learn how to speak to each other as people. It's something that we continuously learn how to speak to each other because we grow and we develop and we change. So you will always need to learn how to speak to the person. Even not just your partner, but to your children as well. There's a way you're speaking even to your children without making them feel discouraged or being like right? And we need to learn that. Number two, I've learned we are human, we're not perfect, and the very things that you are very good at them, you will be tested, and you will be tempted, right? So we are human, and we need to be gentle with each other. We need to be forgiving with each other. We need to be accepting of each other's flaws and faults and learn how to not dwell on them and learn how to move from whatever these disagreements that we have, right? Learn how to resolve and move, right? So we are human. You learn that we are human. As ma'am Judy, one of my facilitators, right? So she teaches us human anatomy and physiology. She always says, we are also human.
Yeah.
Right, referring to them as lecturers. Yeah. So they are also human. They will make mistakes. So we are also human.
So be gentle.
Be gentle with each other.
Yeah.
Right? That's number 2. Number 3. Yeah, my man, I've learned man. Yeah, no, in marriage, man, you need to know how to sacrifice, my man.
Yeah.
It's a life of sacrifice, right? Christ was married, is married to the church, and he had to sacrifice his life in order for the church to find forgiveness and reconciliation with God, right? So you learn, it's a life of sacrifice. Sacrificing little things, sacrificing your time, sacrificing your energy, sacrificing little things, sacrificing money, sacrificing spending for yourself.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
And as a guy, you shouldn't feel like when you're sacrificing more than her, because at the end of the day, Christ died for the church. He, as the man, died for the church, the bride, right? So you, as the husband,
love your wife like
Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
Right? So in our marriage, we need to emulate and be Christ-like, right? So he died for the church. He gave his life. He gave his body. He gave his blood, so that the church can be forgiven, can be reconciled to God, can be healed, right?
Yeah.
Can be fed and clothed, and can have grace and mercy upon them in abundance. He gave up himself, right?
Yeah.
So you, as the husband, you need to give up and die and sacrifice for her. The church didn't die for Christ. No, it died to its sins, and it started emulating him and sacrificing itself, and it started suffering and dying for Christ after he died first. So even whatever sacrifice you are looking for her to make in the marriage, sacrifice will start with you. Show her that we need to give things up in this marriage and sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4 for the benefit of us. So that later, when it's her time to sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, she can do it willingly, because she saw you do it first.
As what the way we are thing, it increases that to the thing of submission. The way we are thing, you need to sacrifice so that she can see it's easy and it's doable for you also as my wife to sacrifice things. So meaning to submit. As much as you as a husband, you bend your house, you are you are submitting yourself to the Lord. In that way, your wife submits to you. Submission to from your wife to you becomes easier.
Yeah. Somebody must submit to somebody.
Yeah.
Right. There's a sermon, Pastor Jakes, that I've been waiting to listen to. But the heading of it all, just the headline, just grabbed my attention. He says submission is not subservient. Look for that sermon. Submission is not being subservient.
Preach.
Look for
Speak on it.
Look for it. So somebody must submit to somebody, right?
Yeah.
So the Bible teaches there's God. He's the head. Under God, there's Christ, and under Christ, there's the husband, and under the husband there's the wife, and under the wife there's the children.
Yeah.
Right. So I will be the head of my wife, just like Christ is my head. And Christ is my head, like God is his head. Somebody is submitting to someone else. There will always be somebody who is above somebody else in some way or fashion. But that doesn't make you any lesser than the person who is above you, right? As God and Christ are equal. He said that. Nalintate. So relationship ya rona is so. We are co-creators. We are co-yonkinto, right? As you and your wife, you are co-partakers in the kingdom of God. You are co-inheritors of the kingdom of God, right? You have that relationship, God and Christ and the Holy Spirit, where they are one. And they are equal and they operate as one and as equals, yet there is the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, but they are equal. You see, now, yes, there's the husband, the children, and the mother, but you are one and you must operate as one. So as I stand here and it's my head to the toes, I cannot separate my head and say all of a sudden my head is more important than the rest of my body. This thing is one. It's the head attached to the body and we are one, right? My head cannot run on its own and my body cannot run on its own, right? Just as my head cannot function and think for itself. Who are you thinking for as the head? And the body, when you are conducting things, who are you doing them for? When you are eating, where are you eating? Because you are eating through the mouth, right? When at the head to get to the shop, you need the legs to move and carry you. You are one body, one. Man, wife come together and they become one flesh. Two shall become one flesh.
Two shall become one.
Why born unto? So there's no person who's above the other. It's just a matter of before God there will be a husband and a wife. In this relationship there will be a husband and a wife, just like there is Christ and there's church. But when we join together, we are one being before God, and we become one with God in this covenant. Don't go.
That is deep.
I
think I spoke to church. That is dope, but makes sense though. It makes sense because now, like I had an argument. You know the social media sometimes. Sometimes. Because this girl was I want something about submission. So in other ways, I won't submit. I can't submit to any man.
Okay.
Whether I can can't submit to any man. But you know, one way or the other, you are gonna submit to him as much as he will submit to you, even though Kisahana and everything. And also, there's someone he submits to. There's a higher being. There's a higher power, higher God. Whatever we believe in above him, he submits to it. So you saying, "Hi, me, I won't submit. I was not made for submission. Submission makes you weak."
Let's think about it. In fact, okay, there are two people in this relationship. And the problem with how we read the Bible is sometimes we only read the part that is convenient to us. Or sometimes we only read the part that we want to use against other people. Let us read objectively. Don't select. Read objectively. Right? There's a man, there's a wife, and God gives them instruction, Bali 2. He says to this man, you love your wife as Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? Submission. You want to submit.
Okay, but okay.
You want to submit.
Yeah.
Sure. You want to submit to your husband. Right? Mariana, God says to him, he must love you like Christ loved the church. He must sacrifice. He must be willing to put his life on the line for you. He must be willing to die for you. It's not because of anything that you did. It's because wow rata. Right? So if I'm willing to die for you, why are you not willing to submit to me? Christ ushwele ba monka damane ba moshapa ka dithupa ba mo waka ba mo etsang ba mo shapella mo sefapano ba sphamisa sefapano a dula rata man ba mo jesa bogala ka mfethu ba mo hlaba ka lerumo a sha diamond shwa he died for the church. That's his love and ke lerato. That's a deep kind of love. He says there's no greater love than the love of a person who's willing to die for his friend. He's willing to die for his children, for his friends. So if he's willing to die, why can we not submit to him? Why cannot the church not submit to him if he's willing to die for the church? Like a wife should submit to the husband when the husband is willing to die problem is this: there are husbands who are not willing. There are men who are not willing to sacrifice as well.
Yeah.
That's why about monna are ha tlo laola ke mosadi, ha tlo mamela mosadi, ha that's a problem.
Yeah.
You, my man, you need to also sacrifice your pride. Right? Yeah. Like Abraham sacrificed his pride. God said, listen to your wife, Sarah. And Abraham listened to Sarah. God says to us, we must submit to each other. So why not Luena we nele katla samsadi wa and listen to what she has to say? She's your partner in the kingdom of God. So listen to what she has to say. Because what she has to say could lead you in the right path. Or else if you are listening to just yourself, you will get lost.
Yeah.
Because monna liwanu useless. Mdimo mona mshaba iwana yai Adam liwanu useless. If monna nasi useless aliwan, there would be no need for a woman. But God saw us as useless only one. We are useless. Klo fam sad, msadi uta okenya tsele. Konda habu alwen. And the lena how bua. Tlamila konde. Ka ofela lona konda nkondisa nang le konde le konde. Go.
You know, and one thing I want to know is that the things that we men, we are driven by toxic masculinity. You know, then I had to work in Kenako, and analyze whether is it true, is it false, and I came to a conclusion that maybe not. Some of us we are driven by toxic masculinity. Some of us we are pride driven, we are ego driven, and an ego driven person, to me, he's a dangerous person, because now whatever advice or whatever saying or from another person, as long as it's okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Whatever I say must go. But if what like an idea or sponsor a lie because maybe get fuck up or something, no. So because I'm ego driven.
Okay, she calls it toxic masculinity. So those are the terms that we throw around today. You know, body patriarchy, masculinity, and all of those
feminism.
Things. They are very nice to throw around. Right? They are very nice to throw. They are labels that we love to, and they are very nice. Like Adam said, you are a lion, and lion became a lion. And they say you are a patriarch, and a patriarch is a patriarch. Right? Those are nice terms, right? But I would rather say it's a humanity problem, because pride knows no gender. Rebellion against a submission and rules knows no gender, right? Stubbornness knows no gender, right? Lack of vision knows no gender. Intolerance knows no gender. It's a humanity problem, right? You, as a human, you have a problem with submitting in general, right? We can tell you don't submit to your parent, you don't submit to authority ko skolong, authority ko msebeting. How will you submit to your partner in marriage? Where you are not, where else you've been failing to submit to every other thing in your life.
Yeah, your entire life.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't, if you get like a span, right? Because spanning, I'm not able to conduct myself in an ethical manner, in a manner that is worthy of even the salary that I'm receiving. What makes me think, or in my marriage, I will be committed and ethical in it.
Yeah.
Where else ke hlula ke spani, or ethical spani. Ke hlula ko submit to my supervisor ko spani.
Yeah.
I fail to do that, to submit to the rules of the workplace. Then how will I be able to submit to the rules of marriage? So it's a human problem.
Yeah.
Both men and women. We don't submit to a lot of things in our lives. Hence why we will even fail to submit to each other in marriage. It's a human problem. Tango.
Thank you. All right. Hi. Let's hope what really they have learned.
I mean, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Perspective.
It's an open conversation after all.
Perspectives. But at the end of the day, I think we need to be honest, though. In fact, we are human. We are human. Even beyond our gender, we are human. We are people before God. And when he judges, he goes beyond our gender. Our mischievous nature and our corrupt nature, it goes beyond our gender. That thing. It goes beyond that. So let's be honest enough and admit that we are flawed and we have faults, and then we come with these baggages in our marriage, and we need to be gentle with each other.
So spiritually, religion wise, where are we?
I always say I'm not a church goer. I'm a believer. I follow Christ. I follow the example of Christ.
What's the difference between church goer and
there are people who are filling space. My human anatomy facilitator will say you are matter. You are occupying space.
An empty space.
You're just there occupying space. So sometimes I feel that sometimes if I focus too much on church and going and attending church services and all those things, I end up just occupying space and just filling the bench, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing right now, I'm having this fight in my life where I'm fighting to grow in God, right? And grow in my walk with God.
Yeah.
Right? So I look at myself and I compare myself to people like Daniel, to people like Meshach, Abednego, to people like Joseph when he was in Egypt. So they were in exile. Like we citizens of heavens, we are in exile, right? And in exile, they were called to certain duties in that place, right? Some was a cupbearer for a king. Somebody would interpret dreams for a king and whatever. So what are you called to do when you are in this world? And then in that, how does God integrate into it and carry you through your journey? And how do you show your loyalty and your faith to God in your walk, in your career, in whatever profession you are in? So for me, it's about that. I'm studying nursing. I'm looking at the human body, and I'm finding the Spirit of God inspires me to understand this from His point of view, because He created this. So for me to understand this, I need to reconnect with my spirituality for me to understand this, right? So every time I look at this, I will always go back to what I know from the things of God, right? When He talks about the temple of God and the tent, the tabernacle of God, and then I'll find little connections between that and the human body and understanding the human body. So yes, I haven't been to church in a long time, but I believe I'm walking with God. I'm developing this relationship with Him that if I was a person who just attends services, I wouldn't experience it, because in my time of struggle, I'll find myself crying and praying in a way that I never cried and prayed before. Even before I'm told. Like you find yourself there sobbing and crying, like even your child will be worried. Like Papa, and you're feeling this thing that why won't so it's that right now for me. But I would love to go back to church and fellowship with other people. Church is important for fellowship, right? Who says our coming together, our fellowship, coming together with our brothers, where 2 or 3 are gathered. I cannot gather by myself. I need 2 or 3 to gather with me so that He can be present in our midst, and then we intercede and we pray for each other and all that. I miss that a lot, because the people I did that with, Motshwanedi, we are in different places and whatnot. But I see it developing in other ways, and maybe that journey with whoever I was with, it was for a season, and this is another season. And there will be other people that I need to walk with in this season. That's what I believe. And I see Him. I see His hand. I see His work in my life. I see it. I say it. I could preach all that. I
Preach some other time.
Yeah.
Preach some other
But
time.
I see him. He's there. I believe he's with him. I believe he and I, we are walking this journey and this in together. He's walking it with me. He's working in me. He's working with me. He's working within me. Yes.
That's dope.
Dango.
Working with me, working within me, working
with me. Dangi.
That's nice.
Yeah, no. It's a mouthful. I can't repeat it again.
Okay, yeah.
It came out once. And
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
I know, no, tough. Thank you for your presence.
Yeah,
Once
it's been a
again,
pleasure, man.
once
It's been a
again,
pleasure,
it's been a while.
It's been nice.
Yeah, only quite a series
Sure.
of this in this podcast they are unpacking the marriage vows, because I feel like a lot of us, well, me included, sometimes really would the vows it's but besides Udutla, some of them are like serious.
But in sickness and health.
You know.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticing and is that the obey part, the submission part, by marriage vows.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's unpack marriage vows next. Yeah, let's have that conversation. I unpack marriage vows. So this will be from a perspective of young people. Right?
Yeah.
So, this year we only celebrating 1 year in marriage.
Yeah, same
So
here.
it's very fresh,
Celebrated
right?
last
It's-
week.
yeah, it's very fresh, right? So we will do what we can say, maybe looking back at the journey, the 1 year journey,
Yeah.
and then what have we witnessed and experienced in the 1 year
Yeah.
that makes us re-look at the vows and say, okay, this is why we took these vows. And this is where these vows apply.
We can actually make it a series of in sickness and in health. We only focus on that
Let's
one.
talk about that.
We talk about that
in
one.
sickness and
In
in
health.
health.
We talk about
And let's
that
talk
one.
Because we experience these things, right? But we never reflect on them.
Yeah.
And when you are experiencing that thing, if your conscience is alive, it will remind you, remember when you took a vow, you said, so why are you behaving in this way when this happens? Why won't?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can do that. Can do that, definitely. Sure.
Right. That's nice. Okay, Wafetu, this was the Marumula podcast with me, Tatsi Spiderman Samazona, Slohol Sare, Marumula, Pala Machako Pesima Masapayan, All Haila Re, Moses Kotan, go Tampo start. But where it's in Barry, go Baloy.
Hello, fellas South Africa, when you play somewhere, later the flat, other places, la lawyer, South Africa, lawyer. Generally speaking, South Africa, re na le di problems, re na le corruption e ngata, there's too many things tse di wrong ka hona. Maybe that's why re na le di things that they had
See you guys on the next episode. Ikharile ra tsamaya.